Greetings. This is Elder Blacklight, El Blacklight, your motivator. I'm trying to motivate you into doing something for self-preservation. So I just want y'all to dig on this video. That's Bush. This is talking about 9/11, which will, they're going to be talking about it in a few more days. 9/11. I want to know, do you believe that all this COVID and terrorists and all of it's related to one thing? COVID, terrorists, 911. Is it all related to the United States trying to conquer the whole planet, and it's backfiring on them? This is what I think. What you think? Or are you too busy caught up into Polite, Young Pharaoh, Sinetta, Tahaka Bay, Inky, y'all caught up into that? This is what y'all should be trying to pay attention to, because this ain't no joke. People are dying. Check this out.
Mr. Bush was on his way to an elementary school in Florida when informed of the first plane hitting the World Trade Center, where terrorists had struck just 8 years prior, Mr. Bush decided to go ahead with his photo opportunity.
Morning, boys and girls. Good morning. Read this word the fast way. Get ready. Mad. That's mad. Get ready. Yeah. Okay, get ready to read the words on this page without making a mistake.
When the second plane hit the tower, his chief of staff entered the classroom and told Mr. Bush, the nation is under attack.
See how many black people?
Not knowing what to do, with no one telling him what to do, and no Secret Service rushing in to take him to safety, Mr. Bush just sat there and continued to read My Pet Goat with the children.
How many black children, teachers, are caught up in a lie? You keep on.
Nearly 7 minutes passed with nobody doing anything.
Keep on being caught up in between this mess.
As Bush sat in that Florida classroom, was he wondering if maybe he should have shown up to work more often? Should he have held at least one meeting since taking office to discuss the threat of terrorism with his head of counterterrorism? Or maybe Mr. Bush was wondering why he had cut terrorism funding from the FBI. Or perhaps he just should have read the security briefing that was given to him on August 6, 2001, which said that Osama bin Laden was planning to attack America by hijacking airplanes. But maybe he wasn't worried about the terrorist threat because the title of the report was too vague.
I believe the title was Bin Laden Determined to Attack Inside the United States.
Remember
A
her?
report like that might make some men jump.
Boule.
But as in days past, George W. just went fishing. As the minutes went by, George Bush continued to sit in the classroom. Was he thinking, I've been hanging out with the wrong crowd?
No.
Which one of them screwed me? Was it the guy my daddy's friends delivered a lot of weapons to? Was it that group of religious fundamentalists who visited my state when I was governor? Or was it the Saudis? Damn, it was them. I think I better blame it on this guy.
CEPT has obtained more than 900 pages of documents detailing the work of a U.S.-based health organization that used federal money to fund bat coronavirus research at a Chinese laboratory. One grant highlighted in the document details an effort to screen thousands of bat samples for novel coronavirus, as well as people who work with the live animals. It was awarded for a 5-year period and renewed in 2019, but the Trump administration suspended the grant in April of 2020. There's a lot more in these documents that were obtained through a Freedom of Information Act request that the Intercept filed with the NIH, and we'll be going through them over the course of the next few days, I'm sure. But what jumps out here is, the type of research that certainly has risks of jumping into the general population. Kim, I mean, what do you make of these new revelations?
Yeah, so what we're finding is that EcoHealth Alliance was given $3.1 million, right, to study these sorts of things, and nearly 600 of that went to the Wuhan Institute, and they knew how dangerous a lot of this research was. There was even talks in these documents about bats biting people, and so they were saying, well, this is really risky because they bite, and they're looking for viruses in these bats. They know that it's risky. They're looking for viruses that can transmit to humans. And, this just goes to show that this type of research is risky. They were doing this type of research. We know the funds were going to this. And so it does call into question the origins of the virus. That's plagued us all. Did this start in a lab? Was this some random bat in a cave that they were looking at? There's a lot of questions here.
I think the ridicule directed at people who discussed, who even wondered about the lab leak theory, the ridicule coming from many people in the mainstream media, many mainstream news organizations, some political figures. Not to say it's aged poorly is putting it mildly, right? This is going to go down in history as one of the biggest screw-ups in terms of, obviously the actual incident is a screw-up, but the amount of refusing to talk about treating you like you're crazy, like you're spreading a conspiracy theory. If you had questions, and the denials at every stages from people like Dr. Fauci and others, the more information we find, the things we find out that yes, we were paying for something very close to this research, and research that we have a lot of reason to question was done appropriately in an area of the world in a specific lab where this has arisen. And
I'ma be that boy you gon' remember. That's right. I'll be that boy you gon' remember. To hustle, fake, prop, line till the law call my number. Super scholars holler. This era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than the first. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for the people. Here he is, man. Again, we live in the digital age. If someone told you they went to school, you probably know someone went to the school. You can check. Stop letting these people get over it. Peace.
Requiring all federal employees to get the COVID vaccine. The mandate will be part of his 6-prong approach to fighting the pandemic. That plan is expected to focus on increasing testing, requiring masks, keeping schools safe and open, protecting the economic recovery, improving care, and getting shots into the arms of the unvaccinated. A source familiar with the strategy tells CBS News the vaccine-related measures will also include an update on booster shots and mandates. The president's plan comes as the Los Angeles Unified School District votes today on whether to mandate COVID vaccine for all students ages 12 and up. CBS News' Skylar Henry has more.